Alright, today I'm going to be showing you guys the two boats that I own. You guys have seen them in a lot of my videos. I have a black John boat and the tan Kayak. You've probably seen other boats too. Those aren't mine. These two boats are the only two that I own. Pretty much I'm going to give you guys a rundown on them, like price, modifications I've done to them, which one I would get if I were you. It really depends like what you're trying to do. So yeah, we're gonna take you guys outside really quick and we're gonna check them out. Alright, so these are my two boats. There is Teresa. Anyways, first off, we're gonna start off with a Kayak. I've had this for a few years. I got it for $200 at Dick's. It's been good, but I kind of like this one more. I'm gonna tell you guys why. But yeah, it's a 10-foot kayak, and I've done a lot of modifications to it. If you can see, we're going to get into those right now. Alright, so the first modification I did to this was add an anchor trolley, which goes up all along here. This is kind of messed up, but hopefully you guys get the gist. Pretty much what it is this thing you can move up, and it's kind of crusty right now, but you can move it up and down. There we go. Move this up and down, and the weight is attached to that, and that sits on the bottom. And it keeps you in one place, first of all, and you can control if you're facing towards the wind or not facing. So that's really helpful. If any of you guys have a kayak and you don't have one of those, look up how to do one of those. I'm not going to make a tutorial on how to do that, but that is really helpful. And next I have the fish finder. That's an Elite 3X. Got it at Dick's for like $70, which came with the transducer and everything. And then I have a battery back here. So pretty much I drilled this right there. This little white cap that didn't come with it, I got that on eBay for like $15, I think. Then just cut the hole, drilled that in, and that's where my transducer sits, with some water duct putty. And like I said, my battery is back there that connects up. Pretty solid. I didn't really use it on this because the place I fished is like 7 feet deep and doesn't really have any structure, so it's kind of useless. But anyways, if you're fishing somewhere where a fish finder is needed, definitely pick this one up. It's a good little cheap fish finder. Alright, and here is the John boat. Got this off Craigslist for $300. It wasn't painted like this. It was really a piece of crap, and probably should have paid like $20 for it. It has a lot of holes. Well, it used to. I pretty much rednecked them with some silicone and some soda cans. I'll get into that in a second, how I did that. But I pretty much spray painted it with like a black truck bed liner, and then painted that blue. Made the deck. Got some holes back here too, which is awesome. So I just brought the trolling motor out. This is a Minn Kota 55 Enduramax, which was, I think it was like $400, but it was worth it. I mean, it's really expensive. But then I got this battery. Here we go. Then I got this battery from Walmart, which was, I think, like $50 or $60. Either way, it's a pretty good deal, and it works really good. That's the specs of it, if any of you guys are interested in getting that. Pretty much just charge it up every time I'm done, and it lasts like really long. Like, I've never ran out of battery unless I didn't charge it before. Like, I've gone out twice and it got like really low, but it was still good. So what I got going on here, this is a piece of aluminum, got on like that. That's hopefully going to be a camera mount for this camera right here. Gonna try and mount it up here so the angle would be like right there, looking down on the boat. And then I'll also be running an action cam on my chest. So that's the plan for that. Onto the deck. This is a 3/4 inch thick piece of wood. Just got that at Home Depot. Also got the carpet at Home Depot. Just cut it out and stapled it from the bottom up. And then this is a seat I got from Walmart. That was like $60, $70. If I were you guys, this was a rip-off. I wouldn't get this. My friend, he actually just got an office chair and bolted it in, which I wish I would have done. Saved money, and it would have been more badass, but it's alright. I went with this. So. Alright, so this is how you take off the deck. Pretty much just lift this piece up. And I'll show you guys. Fall in here in a second. I made this out of, bottom ones are 2x4s, these are 2x3s. Doesn't really matter. It's pretty sturdy. I can just walk on top of it, and of course put the wood on top of that. Made it fit like this. I wanted it in 2 pieces because I have to lift it into the back of my truck right there. So if I need to, well, I do need to, I take up all these pieces and then just lift them in one by one. That way I don't have to use a trailer, and I can lift it in there. So the total cost for both of these, I'm going to exclude the fish finder. You guys will find out in a second why I'm going to do that. Let's just say this comes with the motor, the deck, the boat. This pretty much just the boat. This was $250. This was about $800. So the pros of the kayak, it's a lot cheaper. If you can actually fit this in like an SUV or something, or even strap it on like the top of a car. And if where you're fishing isn't a big body of water, like it's a little pond, you don't really need a John boat, although it is nice to stand up. But a kayak does get pushed around a lot more in the wind, which is really annoying. It helps if you have the anchor, but when it's windy, kayak fishing sucks, as some of you guys may know. But if that's your price range, definitely go with a kayak. I fished in it for like 2 years, and I still fish in it if it's the right body of water. So this pretty much sums up the kayak. For the John boat, obviously $250 to $800, and this is a pretty cheap setup, to be honest, for a John boat. The main thing was the trolling motor. You can go smaller on the trolling motor. It just depends where you're fishing. I like this because even if I'm in some current, like this, it pushes this boat about 4 miles an hour with 2 people in it, which is pretty good. It's a really good motor. As for the battery, holds up pretty well too. Perks of the John boat, I usually put 2 people in here. Sometimes I can fit 3 people in here. The main thing is just you can stand up, which sure you could stand up in that, but I mean this isn't really gonna tip. Thanks, lawnmower. I'm going to keep going. The motor, you don't have to paddle, which is really easy. You know, if you're just, you can keep yourself in the same spot, which is helpful, and you can go across the lake too. Also, the John boat, you can carry more stuff. You can bring an ice chest. You don't get as wet in the kayak. My stuff tended to get soaked back here, and up front too, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend a John boat, but if a kayak is going to work for you and the budget and everything, go with that, and then maybe eventually get a John boat. Alright, that is pretty much it for the overview of them. That's pretty much what I think of them. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. But I'm not ending this video here. I'm actually going to take you guys through the process. I'm going to move the fish finder from the kayak to the John boat, and just pretty much take you guys through how I'm going to do that. I haven't actually figured out everything yet, but I'm just going to add that to the video for fun. So we're going to get into that right now. Alright, so first off we need to get this unscrewed, so I'm just going to take a screwdriver and unscrew all those bolts. And well, bam, the fish finder is disconnected. So now I'm just going to pull out the transducer, which was stuck in there by some putty, like that. This is just how I did it with this kayak. Used some duck seal, but I'm just going to pull all these cords out, and the battery. battery way down there. It's upside down, that's not good. That's the little battery I used. Again, just use duct seal to hold that down. So there's all our wiring, transducer, that hooks into the fish finder, and then that clips up to the battery. Okay, it's a little while later. I kind of forgot where I left off. I went to the store to get some super glue to make this transducer mount. So pretty much took this metal rod, bent it to where it would fit in this little clip on the side of my boat. I'm not sure what it is, but it was there when I bought it, so I just used that. Didn't screw anything in. It just slides in like that pretty much. And transducer, if you guys don't know what that is, it just sends pretty much beams down, and it pretty much gives you depth. That's the most important thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and screw in this and hook everything up, and we should be golden. Okay, now we're going to drill this dude in. I got these 4 screws right there. I couldn't find a drill bit with, you know, that would hook up to the screws, so I'm just going to drill the holes and then screw them in with a screwdriver, old-fashioned way. Make sure it's going the right way. We are solid. You're gonna get some carpet in there, but it is a-okay. Got that in there. And you're just gonna go like that, and there you go. Alright, screwed in the fish finder. Got our all 4 screws in there. Under here the wires run to the battery, which I just totally put out of the way under the deck. And then, you know, of course you got a little transducer right there, which it's supposed to be under the water, so it's hitting the ground right there, so that's why it's not going all the way in. But if I was in the water, take this, clamp it on there, and it would be good. So I guess there's a little tutorial on how to install a fish finder. Just pretty much how I do everything. I just find random stuff around the house to use. You know, I didn't have to pay any money to like install that, but anyways, that's also, I guess, a little rundown of both my boats. If you guys got any questions about those, just leave me a comment and I'll probably give you an answer. But other than that, stay tuned for some more sick vids, and I'll catch you next time.